Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the class of business correspondence and reporting. How are you all? Those of you who know me, they know me that my name is Prachi Garg, and those who don't know me, my name is Prachi Garg, and I'm going to be taking your chapter article writing. Uh, I see many of the students who have logged in to say hi and who have actually taken out time to attend the class. Thank you so much. So I hope that your previous sessions and your previous topics are clear to you. There are no doubts. If there are any doubts, you can ask me from chapter 2 and 3, not from all the other chapters, right? And of course, I am assuming and I believe that you are taking the most from these classes because these are specifically being organized for you, and you are making the most out of it. Whatever queries you have, you are asked in the class in itself. So, without wasting much time, I am good too, guys. I am good too. So, without wasting much time, I will be starting with this very important topic, which is article writing. And I think you've already started with writing skills before this. You have done prezi writing and you've done introductions or basics of writing, right? Okay, so now keep going ahead. Today we will be talking about what article writing is, what the format is, how important is article writing, why you should know about article writing. So all of these things I will be taking care of. Students who have been attending my classes, they know the rules. You should have your study material handy with you because I refer to the study material a lot, and I will be strictly being sticking to whatever is given in your study material. And of course, please be ready with your pen, pencils. Again, I ask a lot of questions, so be ready to answer also. Right or wrong doesn't matter. Just participate so that at least I know how much you are understanding and where you are lacking. So that, and if there is any problem, you can just ask me to repeat. But please don't start sending me continuously the same thing. Okay. I have a habit of reading your query side by side. I will be reading. If in case I miss your query, you can ask me towards the end of the class. 3 o'clock, I will be taking a break for 5 minutes, and at that time, also you can leave a comment where you want me to repeat something, or if you have any problems in the understanding. All right, so are we ready for the class? Should we start with what article writing is? Okay, wait, let me ask you, what do you understand by the word article? Would you understand by the word article? What is article? What do you understand by the word article? It's a very easy thing. We hear about the word article almost like every day. So, what article is? What do you mean by article? Quick, I'm waiting for your response. Hmm. Okay, I've got some responses, but no. No, 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 no. Come on, think about it. Where do you see articles? Where do you read articles? Where all do you read or do you get to read articles? Mm, Jaspreet, I'm not asking what article writing does. I'm asking you what do you understand by the word article? I'm already wrong writing. Long writing, what in topic? No, Priyanka. Piece of writing which is published in newspapers or magazines, very good. Article means telling something in detail. Okay, but that's not the correct way of defining it. Information about the text. Okay, maybe information is just part of it. So, no, Ankit. A particular statement that conveys information. Not a statement. Chandan, article is not a statement. It's a whole piece of writing or a passage. So yes, but it conveys information, ideas, thoughts. Okay. Piece of writing, newspaper, magazines, very good. Okay. So article is basically a piece of writing, simply. Okay. And this is non-fiction. You know what non-fiction is? Non-fiction means that it's not a story. Okay. It is going to be based on something real. It's not a story writing, right? So it could be an account of something. We're explaining about something, but which is real. We're not making up story. If you are making up something, then that becomes a story. So article is not a story, which is why article writing is non-fiction piece of writing. Am I clear? Yes, which is of course published in newspapers, magazines. There's so many other now online platforms where you can read the articles. I mean, there's so many other magazines available and so many print mediums and electronic medium. There's so many other ways of publishing the articles now. But then, of course, coming on to the word, yes, articles are published. Okay. They are published. It could be different mediums, but at the end of the day, they are published. Okay. So now when I'm talking about writing, writing is basically a process, right? Writing means a process of doing something. Okay, I'm very glad that some of you try to make definitions of things using the words that I'm using. That's very good. That actually tells me that you at least listen to me. Yes, Sheepa, I'm coming on that. That what it actually does is give up. I mean, after the process, let me just explain you what writing is, and then we'll come on to this. So, article writing is basically the process of creating a non-fiction text, okay, about different topics. Am I clear? Now, it does not limit itself to serious writing. It can be ordinary also. It can it can be full of, it can be amusing. Okay, it totally depends on the who the target audience is. It totally depends on about whom we are writing. What is our purpose of writing? What is our target audience of writing? Right. Depending on that, the article can vary in its mood or tone, I would say. Am I clear? Yes. But of course, coming back to it, this is supposed to be published in any of the mediums. Now, the purpose of the target audience is usually a wide audience. Okay, when you're writing an article, you are not limiting yourself to a very small group. Obviously, you are writing for a larger group. Okay, that larger group can be group of students, right? It could be maybe you are writing it for the CA fraternity, right? Maybe you're writing for MBAs. Maybe you're writing for mothers. So your articles can be for different set of people, but then at the same time, you want to target as many as people you can. Clear? This is what article writing is. Now, in a basic and a simple form, this is what article writing does. Am I clear? Yes. Any questions so far? Now, why would somebody, take pains to write article writing? Why do you think somebody would write an article? Let's just say that. What would you get if you're writing an article? Why are you writing an article? Just keep yourself in the place of somebody who's writing an article. It doesn't matter for whom you're writing the article. Just tell me in the simplest form. Why would somebody write an article? Why would somebody spend so much of time in researching and then writing something and targeting so many people? What is the main, or there's just one purpose of it? What is it? Why do you think people even write articles? And for some, why is this a profession even? I'm glad if everything is clear to you guys. Now, answer to this question is very important. Why do you think somebody writes article? What does a writer what want to do with it? What is the idea behind it, or what is the perception behind it? Okay, to spread information about the society, it allows us to express. I'm just reading the answers that I've got. It allows us to express our view on the certain agenda, to inform people regarding the event, to make audience aware about the topic. Okay, Bhumika, for awareness of information to people, to spread awareness. Okay, because you want to provide information, they describe their views about something, people take action on things, and the thing which is okay. No, none of it. I am waiting for another 60 seconds. I'm waiting somebody to come up with an answer. Okay. Now, this is, in my opinion, why people write articles. Of course, they want to spread information. Why? Okay, let's just take this. Why somebody wants to spread information? What will happen by creating awareness or by spreading information? What do you think happens? What I mean, this is right to some extent. Of course, your articles wants to spread information, but what that spreading of information will do? This spreading of information and creating awareness brings change. Yes, yes, any kind of change. It's not necessarily that you're writing about something very serious. Maybe you are writing about CA fraternity and you're talking about some very technical topic of how these things are done and how it should be done. So you are basically trying to create awareness in the fraternity that this is wrong and this is how we should do it. Or maybe doing it this way, it will be better for all of us and it will benefit the society and it will benefit the tax industry and whatever, right? So every time you're writing something, when you're creating it, spreading information, you're creating awareness, you're trying to make a difference, you're trying to bring some change. Agree? Yes. Okay. Now, for example, I am writing an article about students who want to, sit for these entrance exams and they want to travel abroad for higher studies. Actually, to show your skill of writing is not enough. That is not enough. That somebody can see in one or two writings also. What will keep you going for writing an article, right? All right, great. Some of you who have actually got this idea, very good. So, my question, okay, yeah, I was giving an example. So, for example, I'm writing an article about students who are applying abroad for higher studies. Okay, and this article includes about what are the procedures, what all documentation you would need, what kind of an experience you would need, the all the technical things about the top universities, what they look for in the international students, and about, maybe I will be talking also about the cost of living there, because obviously if somebody is leaving India and going to US or UK for studies, I need to give an article. I need to cover up all of these things in it, right? So, do you think I will be talking? And so I will be talking about the cost of living there. What will be the cost of applying for the applications of to get through for visa and what not, right? So this article is basically about totally dedicated to students who are applying abroad. So I've told you what I'm going to write in the article, right? Based on this, do you think my purpose of writing is to make a process little easier for students who are thinking about applying abroad? Yeah. Do you think this is my purpose? What am I trying to do with this article? So I'm trying to spread awareness, right? I might mention in those articles about, these people who, the agents or the middlemen who basically make fool of students who are going abroad. They just charge them a lot, or maybe, they take too many documentations from them and then misuse it. And somebody, in fewer cases, I can talk about people who are basically misusing the data of students. So, I mean, it could be a wholesome article mentioning about everything, right? Yes. Now, in this, of course, maybe I'm trying to make a difference in how people think about going there. I will also be mentioning what the challenges of going there, right? Going and settling in abroad is not easy, right? So, what are the challenges you would be facing when you go there, right? So, having said that, I am probably trying to bring a change in what people think about it. For some people, I might. Jyoti, I don't know what you've said to me. I don't know what it means. Probably you just copy pasted something wrong here. Okay, so I'm trying to basically bring a change or make a difference in the people's perception about going abroad. For some people, it might be an eye opener that no, it's not so easy. And for some people, maybe they have a way out and they think now that, okay, we are ready to, go and study there. I think I can manage all of this and I can go and study there. And for some people, it might be an eye opener for them, thinking that no, probably we are on a wrong path and we should try something else to, for applying outside. Am I clear? So this is what article writing do. Clear? Yes. Now, article writing, of course, discusses things. It discusses ideas, it discusses concepts, it discusses issues, topics. I mean, so many other things. Ideas, concepts, issues, different topics. Okay, so anything. It could start from health to politics to entertainment to sports to Bollywood, Hollywood, whatever. You can be writing article about anything. Like I just said, and it could be from serious topic to amusing topic and something entertaining also. Everybody has their own purpose of writing and everybody has their own target audience also. And everybody has their own interest also of writing, right? Somebody who writes about Bollywood, you cannot expect the person, or you cannot force a person to write about some serious topics in which he may or may not be interested in, right? I got it. Never mind. Okay. Now, the language. Now, in any article writing, the use of language is very important. Now, what kind of a language you're supposed to use basically? When it comes to vocabulary, it has to be perfect. When it comes to grammar, yes, perfect. Punctuation, yes. Every detail matters in writing skill. Every detail. Okay. Try, remember I told you about vocabulary. If the vocabulary is not appropriately used, then it might change the whole meaning. It might change the meaning of what you were trying to say and what it has actually come out in writing skills. Right? So you need to be very careful about it. Okay. Vocabulary, grammar, punctuation. Now let's talk about the overall. What kind of a language do you use, formal or informal? So neither you use too formal and neither you use informal. So you are somewhere in the middle actually. Depending on your target audience, you choose what to write. But definitely you cannot write articles in informal or casual language. No, it has to be somewhere between formal and informal. Am I clear? Yes, so it's neither too formal, just like report writing or other serious writing skills, but it cannot be informal also. With language skills, you cannot be lenient. So you have to be very careful about what words you're using, what is your sentence structures, and how you want to express your thoughts. Now, what can an article do? Before that, let's just look at this PPT first. Okay, so in this, if you see, the article writing is a piece of writing written for a larger audience. The main motive behind writing an article is that it should be published in either newspaper or magazine or journal to make some difference to the world. Look at the objectives of article writing. Now, what is the objective of article writing? It brings topics or matter of interest in the limelight. That means it brings the topics that needs to be discussed. There's something that needs to have attention, but they're not getting enough attention. So an article brings that attention. Am I clear? The article provides information on the topic. Yes, of course, it does. It offers suggestions and piece of advice. Yes, you definitely give suggestions and piece of advice, but based on your research, right? You can just make up anything and just tell people, because remember, your article will be reaching out to so many people, so it has to be very clear, or it has to be very thoroughly researched and then written. It influences readers and urges them to think. Of course, it influences readers. A good article can influence people. People can talk about your article for days and days and days and discuss it. I have read this so and so where. And then that actually happens, because I don't know about how many of you read magazines and online articles and newspapers. But it happens with me a lot that you have read something somewhere and then you were kind of influenced and you feel that, maybe this is supposed to be like this because I've read it. Like, for example, about motherhood, maybe. You read an article, what should be given to a child to be eaten at the age of 5 or 1 year or whatever. Just because you've read an article that, this is how the food should be introduced to a baby, you kind of get influenced and you want to just do it that way only. Okay. The article discusses various stories, persons, locations, writing issues, and technical development. I mean, of course, now this again comes back to this thing that article writing can focus on different things, types of topics to discuss. Are we clear till here? Yes, there's another really interesting point that I would like you to see here. It this one. So I don't know why this thing is, I cannot highlight it though. It can simply amuse or bring a smile on reader's face. It can be simply a very light-hearted article written that can bring smile on somebody's face, right? So again, it can be about comparison also. It can be about comparison. And this is a different way of writing. It can offer opinions, arguments, and counter arguments. Based on your research, you can see what you want to mention in your article writing. Am I clear? Are we good till here? Any problems? Then we will be moving on the format of article writing. I'm waiting for you guys. Is there any problem? Otherwise, we proceed. Okay. So, yes. Now coming back to the PPT. Look at the format of article writing. Now, in the format, these are the basic pointers, and then I will tell you about the placing, how they are placed in the article writing. Now, look at the heading and the title. Of course, in a format, first comes the heading. Okay. Now, about heading. Please understand that heading should always be interesting. Of course, related to topic. Right? Because heading is the first thing that anybody reads. And if it doesn't interest you, you don't read the article, right? So the heading has to be very carefully chosen. I would say spend good amount of time thinking about the title or thinking about the heading of it, right? Then comes the byline. Byline is basically the writer's name. The one who has written the article, and then the body of the main article starts. Now in body, basically you start with an introduction. Again, the introduction can be of 3-4 lines or 2-3 lines or whatever. But in article writing, introduction, in fact, not just article writing, it could be if you speak about any kind of writing skill, body is the main, introduction is the main important thing. Again, think about it. You're reading an article. Have you ever read an article and you have left in between? You started to get bored and you think that I've lost interest and it's not nicely constructed. So you just stop reading the article and switch to another one. Have you ever done that? Right. It happens with so many people. It happens all the time. Right. So which is why introduction is very important. Then you break your body into paragraphs. 2 and 3 is mandatory, but beyond that, it totally depends on you how many paragraphs you want to construct. Try to not clutter your thoughts in that body of the letter. Every paragraph should have a different agenda so that the article writing is interesting to read and everybody understands what you're trying to say. Clear? Then comes the conclusion. Of course, again, ending is very important. Ending of ending paragraph of an article. You can end it with an opinion, recommendation, or anticipation, or you can appeal something. I mean, just be in brief what you were trying to suggest from this article, right? What you were trying to do with this article. So you can put it in the conclusion. Clear with the format of article writing. Format is very important. It has to be written this way only. Now let's look at the placing of it. In placing ingredients of writing an article, what are the ingredients? What all things is there? First, of course, comes the title. Okay. Now, writer's name is always towards the right. Okay. It's always towards the this side of the title. Then comes the main body. Of course, the body will start from this margin only. Then you keep changing the paragraphs, and this is all the part of the body. Okay, it's part of the article writing. But you just have to remember title and then the writer's name and then start with your article. Clear? The format is very easy. There's nothing else in it. Any problem so far? Okay. Let's do, before I go ahead, Kojima, I think from your exams point of view, you're supposed to write 200 to 250 words. Okay, let's do a quick exercise and then after that I will proceed with what other things that I need to discover. I need to teach in the point in article writing. So, for example, you're writing an article about there's a result of board exams that has been out and students are confused between whether they should choose commerce or arts or science, right? So you're supposed to basically write an article. You just have to tell me what all things will you talk about in your article, right? What will be your purpose? Okay, why, what all things you will include in your article? Just give me 4 or 5 pointers that this is what I will include in my article, right? That's it. So board result is out for class 10th. And now students have to make a choice between commerce, science, and humanities. Now they're confused about what they need to do. So write an appropriate article helping somebody decide what they should do. So what will be your basic main points that you will be writing in your article? Tell me. All right, quick, you have only 5 minutes to do this. Okay, Shiva, that you will be explaining about what to expect in the different subjects. Mm, okay. Priyanka, I haven't not spoken about the problems. Why would you discuss about the problems in your article? Just with I like it, introduction to each streams that you will give. Then you will talk about the scope, different scopes, basically scope of commerce and science and medical, non-medical, and etc. And then you, at the end of the day, you will say that you need to decide as per your interest, and one needs to make choice freely and not under pressure. Okay, fine. Uh, Sanjana, Bal Sanjana Lakshmi, and I call you Sanjana, right? So, yes, this is actually a very good thing that you can actually start with it, in ancient times or in olden days, people used to just say that, science related careers will get you more good jobs and good career. But things have changed now. Now you have spool of options and where you can select what you want to do in life, right? So, yes, great. Now, you will be basically explaining about the different streams, right? And you will talk about it that, yes, like just Sanjana said, that in ancient times, people used to have, focus on just few careers and everybody wanted to be doctors and engineers and maybe, just there was a few specific profession that everybody wanted to do. But now these days, you have so many other options coming in and everybody is doing well. It's not that only doctors and lawyers and these people are doing well. Everybody is doing well. Everybody's earning pretty well. So you can actually talk about that. You can talk about the details of the streams, what these streams actually offer, what are the subjects that they will be studying, and based on the interest in the subjects, they should decide which stream to choose. Now, you cannot have science, medical, without having interest in biology, right? You cannot have non-medical without interest in maths. I don't think you have. You can do non-medical without maths. You cannot, right? So you can actually talk about these small details that can help children to decide. Am I clear? Yes. And of course, you can conclude by saying that you should always listen to your heart. You should always know what you want to do in life, right? Do not go with peer pressure or your parents' pressure or teachers' pressure. No, you should do what you are comfortable to. Am I clear? Yes. Okay. So now we will be talking about a few more things about what article writing is. Now, tips to write a good article. Now, let's talk about few things that you should know about the article writing. The article writing is writing good article requires two things: good content and a good technique, right? There's so many people who write article every day and who gets published also, but not everybody gets the same popularity. There's few article writers who are very popular and people want to read their articles again and again, right? Some has expertise in writing about food, some has expertise in writing about politics, some has expertise about writing about this health industry and about health and science and everything behind it. And some has expertise to write about the technical topics, like, for example, about maybe a change in law, amendments in law, and somebody wants to write an article about it, how this person feels, and how these amendments can be beneficial for everyone, and how these amendments can create more problems, right? Whatever, either ways. So some people are very technically efficient to write these things, not everybody is. So good content is very important. If your article is not giving information, that is not providing and that is not well researched, it's not covering everything about a topic, and it's not very nicely organized, then the article will fail. Clear? All right. Okay, and good technique, of course. Now, good technique is basically how you organize your article, how smartly you write it, how you grab people attention, and how you, at the same time, you are conveying everything efficiently and effectively. Am I clear? So these two things are very important. Now let's talk about minimize your barrier to entry. Minimize to barrier to entry means that don't use complicated statements in the beginning. Try to use simple statements yet effective. Right? Don't complicate yourself and don't talk too much in the first line itself that you're not able to justify in the entire article. Am I clear? Minimize your paragraphs, short and your text visually appealing, and shorten everything. Yes, please. Now we will be discussing this one topic, one article that I always discuss in the class, and break down first, make the pointers, and then break down the paragraphs based on it. Right? You will see that if every small paragraph had different agenda, it becomes very easy for somebody to understand. Whereas in one paragraph, if you mix too many thoughts and too many things that you're trying to say, Ankit, we will discuss the example. That's exactly what I said. We will be doing one exercise from your study material itself, and you will see what I'm trying to say here. Am I clear? Yes. Okay. So you have to shorten it. Do not mix 2 or 3 points together. For example, in one paragraph, you're talking about the scope of streams, but don't mix it with challenges also, right? You can have a different section for challenges that people can face and what challenges people face, right? If you're talking about scope, only talk about scope. Am I clear? Yes. Keep it short and sweet. Give me a substance. Give me means. Give a substance means that your article should have something worthwhile, something to take a reader to go back and take it with your article. Your article should be giving a good thought or something, food for a thought for a reader to read, right? Reader should feel that, the reader has got something from the article. Am I clear? Tell a story. Tell a story. Your article should be in a flow, right? You can include anecdotes about people. You can also include few real stories also, or somebody's interview, or somebody said something about it. But there should be a flow, just like a story. Show, then tell. Start by showing your point in action, then explain it to me what it means and why. First, tell me what is your point, right? Then explain you what it means, and then tell me why it matters. There should be a sequence to it. Am I clear? Just please, word limit for your exam would be 200, 250 words. Otherwise, I don't think there's a limit for article writing. You can just go on and on and on. Am I clear? Yes. Yes. Should we start discussing about the steps of article writing? Okay, let's talk about the steps now. Are you ready? Now, what are the steps of article writing? First is to identify your target audience. Okay, now who is your target? About whom are you writing? Understand what your target audience would be interested in to listen. Right? So having target audience is very important. Like I just said, that if you're writing an article about students who are applying abroad, now your focus is students here, right? If I narrow it down, then students who want to travel outside to study. Am I clear? Yes, so that is your target audience, right? Next step, which is very important, is purpose. What is your purpose of writing? Why are you writing? Are you entertaining people? You want to give some information, you want to give opinion about something, you want to suggest something, or you want to just raise an issue? What is it? You need to have one specific purpose in mind, and this is what I want, right? Don't mix too many thoughts, don't mix too many ideas in it. If you do that, the article will lose its essence and nobody will understand anything. Am I clear? Yes. So article writing is basically need to have a target audience and purpose. This is the first thing, to decide who is your target and what is the purpose. Am I clear? Yes. Your article can have a very wide audience also, the entire country also. So if you're like writing about elections, basically, now you know the election results are just out for Uttar Pradesh and Punjab and all. If you're writing article about election results, then that might interest many people. Like you can have wide range. Almost everybody wants to know what is the opinion, right? What happened and what is good and what is not, what is right and what went wrong and everything, right? But if you're writing an article about, anything related to tax, then not everybody's interested to read about tax. Not everybody understands what tax is, right? So then your audience is limited to CAs or maybe few businessmen, depending on the topic, right? People who pay taxes, right? So you might be limiting yourself to there. Am I clear? Yes. You're writing an article about any Bollywood film, right? Again, not everybody's interested in movies. Not everybody watches movie also. So then again, you have a very limited set of people. Clear? But yes, of course, if you're writing about some very well-known actor who is heartthrob of India, then of course you might have a wide audience. Everybody wants to read. Again, if there is something significant to read about this person, not generally how much you like the person. Nobody wants to know that. But if there's something significant about it. Clear? Now, third is collect and select information. Collect and select information. So basically, you need to collect the information and then you need to select the information. Am I clear? Collection, of course, you need to research and find out what is it and what is not. First, read, and collect. Don't leave any stone unturned. Find as much as you can related to your topic, right? Then select. Then start organizing what you want and what you don't want. Not organizing, just select. So you collect first and then you select. And this is what I need and delete what you don't need. Clear? After that comes Bhumika. Ideally, it should be. Yes, article should be direct. Not always, but yes. Mohammed's question is it fair to write on Arctic politicians? See, you cannot, of course, you can write about politicians, but you cannot get personal in the article, right? You cannot get personal with anybody, right? If you want to write against somebody, then you need to back it up with a lot of evidence and a lot of proofs also, right? You cannot just write just because you don't like somebody. You cannot defame somebody in your article, right? But yes, if you want to talk about something positive and something good and, something worthwhile, more than a politician, if it's something very worthwhile to write about that person, of course you can. Yes. But yes, you need to be very careful if you are defaming somebody and if you're writing something negative about something. You cannot write as per what you like and what you don't like. And remember, your article is going to be read by a lot of people. It might influence a lot of people. So you need to be very careful about what you write and what you're trying to say in your article. Am I clear? But yes, if you want to write about something very positive about somebody, something that everybody should know about that person, and something that would inspire a lot of people and a lot of students, of course you can write about the person, right? But yes, you need to see what all information you can mention. You cannot mention too much of somebody's personal information. Yeah, so collect and select information. You collect information and you select information. It's very easy. But our fourth point is the most important point, which is organize. After you've got the information, after you've selected the information, now let's talk about how you will organize your information. You really need to organize the thoughts. Am I clear? Yes. Now, for example, if you look at your example in the study material which is given, see, this is an information which is given. This is how you can do it for yourself also. This is also called mind mapping also. And you can draw flow charts also. Dinyansh, no, it is not possible to collect information, but yes, you can gather the information in your head, what you know about the topic. So you collect first, you think about what all can be there in the topic, right? Then you start selecting that, okay, what all the thoughts that you have thought, what all things can you put in the article in your exam, right? But when I'm talking about the collect information, I'm also talking about the real world, when you write about the real articles. Right? Not everybody is, specific to your exams. You can't hear my voice. Is there anyone who cannot hear my voice? Sir, am I audible? Hello? Sir, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Somebody just messaged me saying that the child cannot hear me. So, if you can hear me, just say yes. Ariana, sir, पता नहीं किसी बच्चे ने लिखा, so I thought, okay. All right, let's continue. So look at this article that is the organization of the information which is given in your book. Now, it's very important to organize the information sequentially and logically. These are very important words. Sequentially means in sequence, right? Now, you cannot talk about, for example, about the streams only. Okay, if I'm writing an article about streams. Okay, great. For example, I'm writing about the streams only, right? Now, I cannot do this that at one point I start talking about the science. Then I talk about the scope of commerce. Then I talk about the streams of science again. Then I mix it up with humanities. No, it has to be a proper sequence. If I'm talking about the scope, it has to be scope of all three. If I'm talking about the positive things, then all three. The challenges, all three together, right? So there has to be the sequence and the logic behind it, what I'm writing, right? I'm talking about the positive things and I'm talking about the challenges, right? Before that, I'm talking about the scope. Am I clear? So it has to be very organized. But organizing these mind maps and these flow charts will basically help you organize your thoughts. Now, for example, a topic is career in commerce. Okay? So the career of commerce, let's see what all main points that I want to talk about in current commerce. First is the various courses. Second is placement. Then I have post-graduation. Then I have soft skills required. What all things are there in careers in commerce, right? Now, in various courses, I want to expand more and I want to explore more. What are the courses that I can do if I pick commerce? I can pick chartered accountancy. I can pick cost works accountancy. Then I can also pick company secretariat. Now, for chartered accountancy, from where will I have to do it? From Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, because there is no other institute. And then there is eligibility. What is the eligibility criteria to get to? Similarly, you can also explain about cost and works accountancy and company secretariat also, right? You can also expand your topic when it comes to placement section. And you can talk about later on if somebody wants to do post graduation. And later on, you can also write a little bit about the skills that are required. Am I clear? So that is how you will back it up your entire topic. Okay. So you will basically write about these things. All right. So this is what organizing is. Then comes our write the article. Once your every information is organized, it's nicely and neatly done, and then you can write the article. Am I clear? Yes. Just one thing that you need to know is that do not talk about yourself, right? You're not writing an article for yourself, or you're not writing the article for close-knit people. You are basically writing the article for the larger audience and the wide audience. So make sure that you are not basically just talking about yourself only, what you think, right? No, you're not supposed to give your personal opinion. You can only talk about things that you understand from the information that you've already mentioned in your article, right? Use vocabulary and descriptive language appropriate for the article, linking words and expressions and a variety to vocabulary, and will improve your work. And use passive voice wherever possible. Use humorous and rhetorical questions to make it interesting. Am I clear? Yes. Have you understood about this? Any problem so far? Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break. I will be joining you guys at 3:08. It's 3:03 right now, and then we'll take it forward from there. All right. All right. So I hope everybody is clear with the steps of article writing. Is there any problem? Anybody who has a problem? Okay. Then in that case, let's do a small exercise on page number 8.6 of your article writing. There's an article there, The Health Problems of Tattoos, which is written by Paul Silver. Now, listen to me very carefully what needs to be done in this article, and this, if you don't to be done. You have to read the article. You have to see, if you see in this article, 1 second, I'll share it over you. Okay, if you see in this, if you see the short paragraphs given in this article writing, the something like short and sweet that we were talking about, how article writing should have a lot of paragraphs, which is short and sweet. So you will see these short paragraphs. Now read this article and tell me in each paragraph what is the writer talking about, how this article or how these paragraphs have been divided, what is the agenda, what is he talking in each and every paragraph. Quickly tell me in one to two words that this is what they are talking about. Quick. The topic is health problems of tattoos. Observation exams, you will be only given the topic. Archana, answer your question. What is the difference between article writing and essay? I usually, if in the exam writer's name is not given, then you can just simply say by ABC, by XYZ, or just take any name. You sure that I don't get your question? In English, what does that mean? Topics will be from textbook or outside the book. What does that mean? I don't think that happens after beyond class 4, 5. We're not studying literature here. Yes, the concepts will be specific to your study material, but question can be any, of course. You cannot ratify the answers and write it in your exams in English, in business correspondence and reporting. Ashna, I'll answer your question once everybody is done with the exercise. Are you understanding the difference that how the author is, the writer is actually talking different things in different paragraphs and how he has divided the paragraphs and made it so short and sweet and crisp that you want to read it? Okay. Now in the first one, tattoos have been around for thousands of years, but they have always been had their health problems, and the main potential problem with getting the tattoo is infection. Now, if you see in the first one, it's so easy, and the writer is so direct that what is the main problem with health problem that you face with tattoos is infection, right? That is the introduction. Now, the next then there is a next paragraph which is talking about the process of making the tattoos. Okay, to explain about the problem, you need to explain somebody about the problem also, process also. Not everybody knows about tattoo making, not everybody gets tattoo also. So it's very important that before we explain about the problem, we also explain about what is the process and why this problem can happen. Now, the tattoo process involves pushing pigments far down into the dermis of the skin with a needle. With modern stainless steel and sterilization machines, this is much easier to keep clean and problem-free than the original tattooing method of rubbing ash into the wounds. But problems can still occur. If tattooing the needle is not completely clean, when it pierces your skin, it can deposit germs deep into the skin along with the pigment it is delivering. Am I clear? Now in this, the process is very clear. It is also giving you a beginning of why this infection is possible. Okay, third paragraph. Shiva is the only one who could get the answer. Okay, Rachana. Okay, third. The major problem with infection from unclean tattoo is that it infects the recipient with hepatitis B. Now, it introduces what the problem can be and what is the problem's name. And what is the first reaction or the first thing that you will discover. Okay, fourth is initial symptoms. Now, what are the symptoms that somebody can feel? If this infection happens, what are the symptoms? Of course, with any health problem, we need to discuss the symptoms first. Then comes the other symptoms, and when you need to actually, now, what is the process to detect it also? Okay. What needs to be done when you develop the serious symptoms? Then it also gives you some statistics which says that 95% of adults with hepatitis infection will recover fully, but the rest may develop lifelong chronic hepatitis, especially. Now, I'll give you some little statistics about hepatitis B also. Now, please understand this is very important. when you back up your article with some facts and some statistics, it makes your research more authentic. It tells the reader that you know your subject and you are able to define it also. Always mention and try to mention the fact or statistics. Now, here the author has mentioned about that 95% of people recover, with five, there's always a chance of five people who might develop a chronic infection. Am I clear? Okay. Now, next come prevention. Of course, when we're talking about the health problem, we can talk about the prevention also. Then the prevention comes. And then when you receive a tattoo, ensure the tattoo's equipment is properly, what are things that you need to take care of. Right? Now, first, it talks about the prevention. And, you can have vaccination, everything. Second is what needs to be taken care of when you go to get the tattoo. Right? And then the entire, the curing and treatment process and what you need to do to save yourself from this problem. Right after receiving your tattoo, if you run a temperature, get a headache, or sudden lack of energy, get in touch with your doctor. Last is instead of getting a permanent tattoo, you can get a temporary one also. All right. So understood how this author has such skillfully divided the paragraph, and if you see, it was not boring to read. It gives you all the information about the health problems of tattoos, and it also tells you how it happens, what can happen, what is the treatment, how many people are affected. It tells you about the preventions. It tells you about everything, how you can avoid it also. Am I clear? Yes. Okay, I want you to read the Article 5 also and see how it is broken into so many paragraphs. Quick, Article 5. This will actually tell you how you organize your thoughts also. Now, you can actually list down the way the author has explained in these topics, and then you can actually research yourself also, see what all things the author has discussed and how they have organized it. Now, read about the article number 5. Substantial is something in details, Sanjana. Something that is, that has a thought and that is in details also. Something that is worthwhile to read. Are you able to understand? Okay, now so the topic was the impact of social media on society. Okay, if you look at the first one, almost a quarter of the world's population is now on Facebook. Nearly 80% of all internet users are on this platform because of social networks feed of interaction among people. They become more powerful as they grow. Mm-hmm. Good Shiva, good Kajima. Um, in the beginning, the author has basically kept some very interesting fact that almost 80% of the internet users are on Facebook, right? And everybody has an account on social media. Then it talks about now it talks about what internet is going doing with people, right? So everybody has something or to do with the internet, and they find something to do with that this thing. Now, how there is a different world altogether in internet that people are looking at. Now, next is without social media, social, ethical, environment, political ills would have minimum visibility. Increased visibility of issues have shifted the balance. Now, what happened is, now we're talking about what good social media has done. Okay, Abdul. Okay. Now, so we talked about now it's talking the good parts of social media, how it is helping the society, and then slowly and steadily it might come on to the other things also. Now it's also talking about it without social media. Everything had very less visibility. Now because of social media, the power has gone to the masses. Now it is not only with the people on the top. So that social media has done. Now you can raise a voice against something, you can talk about something openly, and people can listen to you. uh, while social media activism brings an increased awareness of society, the question remains as to whether this awareness translating into a real change. Now, the question of author is that good that everybody's getting awareness, but is it converting into a real change? Now, again, in this paragraph, it is a question, rhetorical question that somebody's asking you. Then it talks about the argument, what different people have different agendas. Now, next comes the study by University of British Columbia, Swarthmore School of Business, found that people are presented with options of like and social power. They use this to opt out of actually committing time and money to a charitable cause. On the other hand, when people are allowed to show support in private, they're more likely to show meaningful support in terms of making financial contribution. It is talking about the hypocrisy of the society, how people are working on the internet, how people work privately. And then there is a research also. Now, researchers say that public endorsement is an action meant to satisfy others' opinions. So you basically think because others believe into it. But whereas when you're talking, but whether when you talk about if somebody in private, they have a more meaningful value to it. So then it talks about, starts to sum up and says that there's a positive side of it, is that information is power. And this means that the longer information is circulation, the more discussion. With the world would be much slower pace without social media. It also talks about that world would have been small, the good thing, but it also talks about what harm it has done. And But the author basically brushes off the negative part by saying that positives are much more than the negatives, and this author wants to focus on the positive side of social media, right? And it talks about, at the end of the day, sharing is about getting people to see and respond to content. As long as the content is still relevant and the need for information still exists, it is always worthwhile. Now, the author concludes with what he or she feels and about the goodness of impact. Am I clear? Now, when the articles are divided into short and sweet paragraphs, it makes it interesting. The pace of the reader is fast because the reader is not mixed and moving around the paragraphs, try to figure out what the author is trying to say. It's very clear that if the author has single thought in the single paragraph. Am I clear? Any problem? Miss Mandal, the question will be simple. Write an article on the so and so topic. Okay, are we clear till here? All right. Ankit, what do you mean by I don't understand what you can say about the article? I don't understand your question. About this article or the article writing in general? What are you trying to ask me here? Okay. Another important thing is the title of the article. Selecting a good article of an title of an article is very important. The article that explains about the article that has to be carefully chosen. Now, this exercise is, of course, this exercise that I do it every time when I'm teaching. So there's a small passage given to you. You have three options of titles. You have to tell me which title is more appropriate for this passage. No, Abdul, your answer is wrong. Come on. Ankit, this is exactly what we're discussing here, and this is exactly what we will be discussing in the next two classes also. That how to write the article. What I'm trying to do exercises here is to tell you in this class that how titles should be chosen and how titles are important, right? In the first exercise, what we did was that how you need to, divide your paragraphs into short paragraphs so that it's easier for a reader to understand. Am I clear? So this is what we're doing. By the end of three classes, I'm sure you'll understand how to write it. Okay, some of you got the right answer. Most of you have got the wrong answer. Okay. Now, this this passage is about the electronic email, which is email, of course. Use of electronic mail has been widespread for more than a decade. Email simplifies the flow of ideas, connects people from distant offices, eliminates the need for the meeting, and often boosts productivity. However, email should be carefully managed to avoid unclear, inappropriate communication. Email messages should be concise and limited to one topic. When complex issues need to be addressed, phone calls are the best. Now, tell me, how can you say, okay, why phone calls are better than email? Is that the appropriate title? No, we're not talking about the comparison of how phone calls are better. Email, the ideal form of communication? No, nowhere the passage says this is the ideal form of communication. It also mentions that when you're discussing the complex issues, then phones are the best. Emails popularity? No, it is nowhere talking about it, how emails are so popular and how people are using it and how it is benefiting everybody. No, it is talking about the appropriate use of email. That means how emails should be used and where emails should not be used, right? Am I clear? How it is you, what is the use of it, how it needs to be used, and the last thing is that when emails are not supposed to be used. Am I clear? Now see, just look at the four titles. Not the other three are not suitable. So if you use the other article, the people will have wrong impression. If I choose the title of this passage as email's popularity, I'm giving a wrong impression to readers. I am not talking about the popularity of email. I am talking about the appropriate use of email, how the emails are supposed to be used and where not to be used. Clear? This is why choosing our title is very important. Let's do one more exercise of the same. This is a very tricky one. Try to answer. Okay, great, Shiva. Now answer this question. No, Mr. Reddy. No, the answer is wrong. It's a tricky one, I told you. Good, Shiva. Your answer is correct. Avi, your answer is correct. Abdul, your answer is correct. Bhumika, no, it's wrong. Ankit, wrong. Ayushi, wrong. I'm waiting for more responses. The responses are quite less. It's such an easy exercise. I haven't started making you write the articles yet. No, no, no. Archana, good. Sarvesh, good. Okay. The Woodstock Music Arts Fair, best known to its participants and to history simply as Woodstock, should have been a colossal failure. Just a month prior to its August 15, 1969 opening, the fair's organizers were informed by the Council of Wallkill, New York, that permission to hold the festival was withdrawn. Amazingly, not only was a new site found, but word spread at the public of the fair's new location. At the new site, that fences that were supposed to facilitate ticket collection never materialized, and all attempts at gathering tickets were abandoned. Crowd estimates of 30,000 kept rising by the end of the 3 days. Some estimated the crowd at 5 lakhs. Then on opening night, it began to rain off and on throughout the 3 days. Huge summer storms rolled over the gathering. Despite these problems, most people think of Woodstock not only as a fond memory, but as a defining moment for the entire generation. Now, backstage at Woodstock? No. Woodstock from the band to the who? Not at all. The ones who have told me B is not at all. Woodstock, the untold story? No, there's nothing untold about it, right? Somebody who's just merely remembering about the, Woodstock as a good memory, right? So this is remembering Woodstock. Somebody sharing its memory, his or her memory with you about Woodstock, about the Woodstock Music and Art Fair. Clear? See, the ones who've got the answers wrong, the ones who've got the answers correct, see the importance of choosing the correct title. If you choose the wrong title and then that message is given, just imagine what is going to be the understanding of the reader. Clear? Are we clear about it? Is there any problem that anybody has? Somebody has asked me, what is the difference between article and essay? Now, article is a piece of writing that is supposed to be published in newspaper or other publications. But essay is a piece of writing that is only for a particular topic. Right? Now, article you need write for the readers about some concept, but essay is just written as a response to a question or proposition. You just write about it, right? Then the format is different. And, essays require a lot of references also that, from where did you pick this? You cannot write everything from your own mind. And it is to analyze and critique the topic. So essay and article is totally very different. You don't get essays published in newspapers, right? Essay is just your piece of writing about some topic. Clear? The purpose is different. The content is different. The format is different. All right. Now we have 15 minutes left. So I'm just going to cover one more topic and then I'll call it for the day, which is the common mistakes The correct option was remembering which talk. C. Okay. Common mistakes in the article right now. What are the common mistakes? Not using facts or quotes or similar cases. I always tell the class that I'm teaching, this is the most important part. This makes your article interesting when you're using some facts, and then facts you can use it in your favor. You use somebody's quote, some eminent people have said something, or probably you're writing about recent times, so you can interview somebody and quote them that so and so people are facing this problem, and this is what they have to say on it. You can talk about the studies, like we just read about the articles. You can talk about the studies by so many prestigious institutions. The language should not be too formal. Of course, you have to be easy to read language. You don't have to use very hi-fi language, but at the same time, don't get too informal also. The article must be in easy language and for better understanding. Whenever you're writing something which is for the masses, you always need to use simple and easy language. Don't use language that people will not understand. In that case, the article becomes uninteresting and nobody wants to read it. The title of the article must be catchy and clearly understandable. We just did this exercise. No use of paragraphs. See, these two exercises we just did, these are most important exercises, right? You have to use different paragraphs. You can't mix two thoughts in one paragraph. It will just, confuse the reader, and it will make your article complex. Expressing a personal views is fine, but author must never talk about himself. You can express your personal views as long as you have some facts to prove it, or you have quotes or similar cases to prove it. But you cannot keep on talking about what you feel. Like, I feel this, in my opinion, in my suggestion. No, you can't do that, right? You cannot influence people by your personal opinion like this. Clear? So the format, the language part you need to take care of, which is very important. Then the title is very important, and the use of paragraphs is very important. The rest, I know you guys can take care of. But this, now, from your exams point of view, I know you are not going to research the topic that is given to you, but yes, you can just make it up, cook it up a story for facts, quotes, or similar cases, right? For example, I'll go back to the example of students applying abroad for higher studies. When I'm writing an article, I can basically talk about some agencies or some institution's name who has done the research that how many students apply every year from India to abroad, and how many children are selected, right? What is the data? What is the statistics? How we can improve it, right? So you can actually use that kind of a data, and you can just make it up. Am I clear? I can say that out of all the students who passed well standard, 5% of those kids apply for these studies, right? But only 5% out of them can get through admissions in good prestigious colleges outside the country, right? Anything. So just write it. That will make your writing automatically easy. Clear? Any problems? If you have any problems, please ask me now. Otherwise, I'll cover up another topic. Quickly. Any problem? Is everything clear to you guys? Crystal clear, okay. I don't know what topic and I have. Actually, I don't think such a topic is given. We always try to give the topic that students can write easily. So don't worry, you will not have a topic that you're not aware of. What is the weightage of this chapter? Abdul, please check the previous year's question papers. Derisha, I will do that. Everything is clear to me. All right, perfect. Now let's, rather than touching other things, let's do a very quick 5 minutes exercise. Let's pick up the topic, role of students in removing illiteracy. This topic. Okay. If this topic is given to you, this one, what all things that you would like to mention in the article? Now, the pointers that you will give me right now, I will assume those pointers as your paragraphs, right? That your one paragraph will be about this, second paragraph will be about this, third paragraph about this point. So give me quickly at least 5 to 6 points about this topic. What all things will you write in your articles? Give me point wise in the sequence, in the logical way, how you will write your article. And oh, sorry. Before that, you have in this topic, you have to tell me your target audience. One. Second, you have done the purpose of your writing first. Forget the pointers right now. Give me, for this article, give me the title, target audience, and purpose. That's it. Forget the pointers. Pointers we'll discuss in the next class. Think about it and do it in the next class. Quickly, for this topic, if you have to write an article, tell me what is the title of your article, and then tell me the target audience and your purpose of writing. Quickly. This is very quick. Just take 2 minutes and quickly send me your responses. About the article writing points, think about it. We'll discuss it first thing in the class tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, on Saturday. Tuesday, I think we have a class. Sorry. Yeah. Quick, tell me. So this is a super easy exercise, but very important. Good, Vithi, very good. So your title will be Students Eradicating Literacy. Your target audience will be youth, and purposes would be spreading awareness and ask the right questions. Good. I think I'm saying this is your topic for the article writing. You have to tell me that if you have to write an article on this topic, what will be your title of your article? Who will be your target audience, and what will be the purpose of your writing? Deletion, no, make it more interesting. You've just picked up the topic that I've given you as a title. Good, Vithi. I like your response. Samir, can we more be elaborated about it, about the literacy in the title? What about the literacy? Okay, Kushagra, learning from students, target audience, the world as a whole purpose, to educate people about the essence of education, how students can play a major role in navigating. You can't have the world as a whole, Kushagra. Can you have students as their parents and their teachers as your target audience? Their parents should encourage their kids to impart the knowledge that they have. Every parent should encourage their students, their kids, to be part of such programs so that they can educate others. And schools to organize such programs where they can take their students in the areas and students can teach other ones. What is ender of literacy, Bhumika? What kind of word is this ender? No. No. Uh, can you guys, instead of just saying giving information, educating people, and spreading awareness, can we talk about how, can you give the suggestions that how students can do it? Guys, can you please do that? Education. Abdul, your title tells me about that you just want to talk about education. You don't want to talk about the literacy part here. There's a difference. What you're talking about is education. You're talking about literacy here. Social media, Sami, social media is not been asked here. Social media is not part of it. I think, okay, the response is good. Students, the main force to remove literacy. Your focus will be students and parents, and your purpose is to for better nation to build for future. Um, no, I think your purpose is to remove illiteracy. Is illiteracy a problem the entire world is facing? I don't know. Probably in India, we have such states where literacy rate is very low in the country itself. Forget about the world. We have such states in India itself where the literacy rate is very high. Illiteracy rate is very low. And that's very impressive. All right, so that was it for today's class. I hope the concepts were clear to you. Think about this topic. We will be discussing the points tomorrow, and you will be writing the article for us, and we will be reading. I mean, not we, as like I will be reading. So you will be sharing it with me. Think about the points, and we'll discuss it tomorrow. Besides this, if there's any problem, please ask me now. If the class was good and you were happy and every concept was clear to you, then please fill the feedback form. Also, you can leave the comment here. Sarvesh, you cannot target illiterate people. How will you target illiterate? Can illiterate people read your article? No. Then you don't have to convince people about the importance of education. You have to tell them that how students can help in eradicating removing literacy. So then, Sami, how can you say the problem is with the world? All right. So I'll see you on in your next class. So may I leave? Is there any problem that you want? Is there any question that you want to ask? Okay, so I'm assuming everything is clear to you. Let's meet in the next class now and we'll take it from there. Bye bye, guys. Enjoy your weekend. See, removing literacy. All right, guys. Thank you so much. All right, guys. See you in the next class. Bye bye. Have a great weekend ahead. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.